Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about the difference between inlaying a gold leaf art project versus painting your design on top of gold leaf. So if you've watched many of my videos before, you know that normally what I will do is I will cover a whole canvas with gold leaf and then I will paint my design. Okay, it's upside down. Doesn't really matter. I will paint my design with white gesso or white acrylic, and then I will paint the colors on top. So the downside of doing that is that if I make a mistake or if I mess up the gold leaf, then I either have to patch it in with more gold leaf or I have to adapt my design. But then again, it means that I don't have to paint glue around all of these tiny fiddly bits. So let's look at the difference versus inlay. So hold on. So this guy, so I drew the hummingbird, and what happened was, obviously on the back of the canvas, I made a lot of mess with all my pencil marks and my measurements because I wanted to get the bird exactly right. And so the underneath of this canvas is actually quite a mess. But then what we can do is we can paint our glue all the way around the design, and so we end up with a sort of inlaid effect. And it actually has a subtle difference, but it is, if you see it in person, yeah, it's special. Both techniques have their place, and it really depends on your design. So because this is quite a bold design, it's relatively easy to paint this glue all around the edge. Let's look at a few more examples. So I did a series of small Japanese paintings, and I wanted to have some gold leaf on them. So for example, here I just painted the glue around his face and created this sun. And obviously that was pretty easy to do, but the impact is really special. And then I also did it with another crane in silver. What else do we have? We have blossom. So obviously it was a bit tricky painting the glue all around because it's a small painting. It was doable versus if I'm doing a large scale blossom, that's just going to be impossible. Just one more to show you. This one, I originally painted the wisteria onto the gold leaf, which is my normal technique. But what happened was I then left the painting on the shelf for about a year and it got really messed up. So I had to come back in to put another layer of gold leaf. So I had to paint all around each of these big blooms of wisteria. So it was pretty fiddly, but it was incredibly satisfying. And then I could gold leaf it again and then reveal the gorgeous design, and the gold leaf was pristine. Okay, so we're going to look at some more examples, and then I'm going to demonstrate to you how I did this, and let's do it. Before we move on to the full demonstration, I just want to give you a quick look at this little gorgeous geisha that I did, which was part of my Japanese series, and they're all small paintings of 5 by 7 inches. And I painted her, lots of detail, really enjoyed it, and then created this beautiful gold background which just sets her off beautifully. Let's inlay this gorgeous acrylic painted hummingbird. So the first thing we need to do is get our specialist glue, which is called Size. So I always recommend my favorite products in the description below. Maybe you have products that you prefer. I've tested out quite a few over the years, but these are the ones that I've really used regularly and find very reliable. So I use a small brush to start with because I want to create a very defined outline to my bird, and I don't want to accidentally go over the feathers or anything. So I'm going to use a teeny weeny brush, and I'm going to go all around the edge first of all. Then I'm going to take a larger flat brush where I can paint the acrylic size over the whole of the canvas. I like to use a flat brush. A couple of people have said to me in the past that sometimes they got marks where they maybe use the size a bit too gloopy. So I recommend using a flat brush, and maybe even dilute it if your size is a bit too thick. I am being especially careful around the beak because I want to retain that gorgeous, crisp, fine beak. So small brush, steady hand, go for it. So whatever type of size you're using, on the bottle it's going to tell you how long is the ideal drying time. And I like to leave mine for at least an hour so that it reaches this perfect state of tackiness where it's not too wet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up very gently and gingerly each sheet with the tissue backing. I'm going to place it down, and then as I go along I'm going to slightly overlap each sheet. And as I'm going, I take a very soft brush and I just at this stage press the gold leaf into the surface. As you can see, I'm wearing a glove, and a glove is by no means essential. I just have gotten used over the years to using my glove, and I like it because sometimes I can just use a gloved finger if I need to press a bit down instead of a brush or a cloth. We're going to cover the whole canvas, so we're going to completely go over the bird entirely, and then we're going to have so much fun when we actually reveal the design. As I mentioned earlier, as I go along, I like to press the gold leaf with my brush, but at this stage, before I start brushing away, I'm going to take a kitchen towel and I just really firmly press it into the surface, just so I feel like it's really super secure. And I am going to start brushing away as soon as I've done this, so I'm not going to leave this any longer. All of this process is done at the same time. We can start to tear away any larger pieces that you have that are excess, and you just gingerly pull them away, and you can keep those pieces and they can be quite useful for patching or repairing any areas. It takes a certain amount of experience and confidence to tear the gold leaf away. Do it quite gingerly with your fingertips. And then once you've done that, you can start just brushing away and we start to reveal the bird. Now, because I have left the size to go to this perfect state of tackiness, I said I left it for at least an hour, then I feel very secure that the glue is going to adhere the gold leaf really firmly, so I can actually brush quite vigorously. Also, all of that pressing and burnishing that I've done is also going to give me confidence that the gold leaf has stuck very firmly. So at this stage I am using a very soft big brush, and I'm brushing away the edges of the bird, but I'm also brushing along the seams of where the squares of gold leaf meet. And this process is just so satisfying and enjoyable. So do enjoy. I'm going to zoom in here to show you what I need to do to uncover the beak. So I've changed to a smaller, stiffer brush, and I'm actually scrubbing quite hard along the side of the beak to reveal the beak and to get a really nice crisp edge. Now it's time to just finish off any little bits that need fixing, and you see how useful these little bits can be where you can patch something up. And we're going to finally brush away all the excess gold. All of these little bits that fly away are called skewings, and what you can do is you can just brush them into a pile and you can keep them in a jar and do something magical with them at some point. Anyway, I hope this has been useful, and there is actually a longer video of how I drew and painted and gold leafed this particular piece if you're interested. Also, why not tell me in the comments if there's something that you would like to learn about gold leaf. I am still in a learning process. I've been doing it for about 4 years, but I'm always learning, and I love sharing all of my techniques and tips with you. But also I want to do, you know, helpful videos. So let me know if there's something that's been bugging you and you need to know the answer to, and I will try my best to figure it out.